Okay, chat. All jokes aside, is my has been the same for like a long time. It hasn't even changed even a single degree.
Christian Bale drives a 2000
XQCL.
Chat, look.
2 years XQCL, have a nice stream.
It hasn't changed. Guys, it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed.
2003 Toyota pickup, while IKEA's founder still flew coach after making 50 billion. But let's start with someone worth 300 million who drives a Toyota Prius, Leonardo DiCaprio. In fact, Leo liked his Prius so much he bought another 3 for his mother, father, and stepmother, not to mention he rathers commercial over private flights, believing it's a greener alternative. He's therefore often seen at the airport looking secretive but fairly casual, although he only reaches peak casual when riding his bike through New York City. Now, sure,
okay, those bikes go hard though.
Side-by-side houses.
Okay, chat, guys. This is like the most EU review of all time. Guys, these bikes go fucking hard.
Now sure, DiCaprio does own 4
It's much more fun than being in a car.
But when David Dobrik met him there, he described Leo as surprisingly normal.
Like he opened the door for us.
They're heavy, but they're fun though.
So he gets to go chase his dog. And that's where you go, oh my god, it's the guy from the Titanic, and this is the Wolf of Wall Street, but he's here at his house, just chilling.
And this even extends to how Leo treats his fans. I went up to him at a restaurant and his security stopped me. I heard him saying, "It's okay, let him through." He proceeded to give me an autograph and we talked for
Wait, this is Australian? Chat, is this acting Australian?
like 2 minutes. Absolutely down to earth and no superiority complex at all. Leo at least tries to live a normal life, but somebody who actually does is Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. When asked how he spends his 320 million, Dave Grohl stated it goes straight into my bank account where it turns all moldy and smelly, given he basically buys nothing. For example, Dave Grohl christened his first credit card with the extravagant purchase of a Benihana dinner, and when asked about cars, he'd state, "I drive a family car." Not a monster SUV, but a family car that fits 5 people, adding that his Tesla was impractical and the stupidest thing as he thought it was too fancy. He'd also get rid of his holiday home back in 2017 and now owns only one single Los Angeles property, which he calls a house that's just big enough. He'd add, "I don't need even more money, cars, and gold chain."
Bro, I think it's fucking massive though. Holy shit.
It's massive.
Dude, LA house like this is massive.
A house that's just big enough. He'd add, "I don't need even more money, cars, and gold chains. They don't make you happy, and I'd rather be happy than stinking rich," concluding with the statement, "I'm not a banker, I'm a musician."
Let's make it about the music. Let's not talk about money. Let's just go have a good time.
Dave Grohl is the Keanu Reeves of rock and roll, talented and humble, which also describes Christian Bale after adding one more word: frugal. Similar to Dave Grohl, Bale lives in a nice but simple Los Angeles property, although he'd recently announced he was dropping 22 million on 12 separate houses, all of which are going to a foster care charity. When offered a luxury villa on the set of Public Enemies, Christian Bale refused, with the director explaining he just wanted an ordinary room. Christian is so modest and unassuming, which is supported by one of Bale's interview statements. "Wealth doesn't mean anything to me. If a robber broke into my house, he'd burst into tears, and it wouldn't be worth stealing his car either."
That's what he drives around in. 2003 Toyota Tacoma.
Dude, the Tacoma goes hard though, chat.
If someone needs me to...
Chat, all these cars are like staples, dude. Dude, a Prius, a Tacoma. These are fucking heavy
Christian
shit.
Bale's truck has become a notable Hollywood talking point.
I guess people have this idea of Hollywood stars, they're driving like the nicest cars.
What are you saying?
That thing's invincible.
Tacoma's not the nicest car. How dare you?
That's what I said.
Tacoma, right?
2003, thank you very much.
Oh my god, that's almost...
And second-hand even then.
And while he might have been spotted also driving a dusty Porsche, it seems the 2003 Toyota is his go-to daily driver. The joke's on everyone else because he's actually driving one of the best vehicles to ever be produced. Bale described his life by stating, "I do the exact same as I've always done. I don't have an assistant, I don't drive a flashy car, I do everything myself. I go to the supermarket myself, the hardware store. It's something something I would greatly miss because I'd start to feel like a prisoner, which might also explain why Bale has rejected most technology. Co-star Bryce Dallas Howard said he barely has a cell phone. He's not one of those flamboyant actors that need a lot of people helping him. He and his wife don't have a nanny, they live in a one-bedroom house, they're very low-maintenance, low-key real people, but if it's a competition for who can live the cheapest, NBA player Kawhi Leonard might still be the winner. Because despite making $128 million over the last 3 years, Kawhi still drives a 1997 Chevy Tahoe because it runs and it's paid off.
Dude,
the car, which is proudly nicknamed the Gas Guzzler, sits outside his 2-bedroom San Diego apartment, although it's at the Wingstop just down the street that his frugality really shows. After landing a sponsorship with the company back in 2016, they sent him a coupon booklet for free chicken wings, which he then accidentally lost, apparently leading to a panic attack. Wingstop also seems to be Kawhi's go-to place for autographs, but Ed Sheeran's go-to place for anything is the couch in his hometown house. He made $775 million from his 2000.
Okay, whoa, dude. Okay, chat. Guys, I know this video is like narrative driven, okay? But Ed Sheeran does not live frugally, dude. Dude. His watches are fucking insane.
2023 tour, but when
Bro,
asked about
his
bank,
watches
states,
are
I use
fucking
my Barclays
ridiculous.
student account. I'm not upgraded because I don't spend much money. If I had all my money in one account, I would spend all of it, so I get an allowance. But when asked about how much the allowance was, he'd give a shocking answer. Maybe $1,000. I really don't spend much money. I spend most of it on taxis. Hotels certainly weren't a primary expense. I did sleep in Courtney Cox's spare room for 3 months straight, which might have been a mansion in Malibu, although he didn't need such luxury.
I do go to LA every now and then, go to wanky restaurants with people, and you know, that is a side of my life, but I also live in the place that I grew up with my wife who grew up there.
As mentioned, Ed Sheeran married his high school girlfriend and moved back to their English country hometown with only 4,000 people. Here he keeps up normal working hours.
I actually got the idea from Eminem. He works 9 to 5, goes in, does a studio, goes home.
And when asked about lavish holidays, he'd state, I'm ginger, so we don't really sit on beaches. I can't think of anything less relaxing than sitting getting burnt in the sun. No, I just shut all my doors, turned off my phone and watched lots of DVDs, perhaps best resonating with The Hunger Games, as Jennifer Lawrence is equally normal. Despite being often cited as the most successful actress of her generation, Jennifer Lawrence stated, I'm in bed by 11 p.m. at the latest. I prefer that to hanging around Hollywood parties at night. Fame or being famous has never impressed me, which might also explain why she refused to upgrade her Volkswagen EOS even after finding initial success. She'd eventually splurge on an equally humble Chevy Volt while living in the same Los Angeles townhouse that was bought for less than $1 million before the fame. She'd state, I was raised to have value for money, to have respect for money even though you have a lot of it, with this respect for money leading to a life of extreme humility. I still look for bargains in the supermarket. Just because you're getting recognized by other people doesn't mean you've become anything special, and according—
This shit is weird, dude. The shit you guys were saying shit is fucking odd. So odd.
To Ingvar Kamprad, being a billionaire didn't make you special either. By starting the Swedish furniture brand IKEA, Ingvar built a net worth of $53 billion, and in 2004 briefly overtook Bill Gates as the world's richest person. Despite this, Ingvar was known for driving a 1993 Volvo 240, which he drove around his hometown, known for having frugal people. It is in the nature of Smartland to be thrifty. If you look at me now, I don't think I'm wearing anything that wasn't bought at a flea market, and Ingvar was even committed to always flying economy. How the hell can I ask people who work for me to travel cheaply if I'm traveling in luxury? It's a question of good
How does this guy go from fucking being $1 on IKEA to fucking sniping my stream every day?
leadership? Best to stay in touch with the real world, although he might have been so cheap that the world lost touch with him. Normally, I try to get my hair cut when I'm in a developing country. Last time it was in Vietnam. Ingvar died in 2018 as the world's 8th richest person, and while Mark Zuckerberg isn't popular with everyone, he definitely maintains the legacy of frugal billionaires. He's currently the 4th richest person on Earth with $170 billion, but wears the exact same shirt every single day.
Bro, that shit is worth a fuck ton.
Reducing decision fatigue while making his life simple. Now, like Leonardo DiCaprio, Zuckerberg owns 5 side-by-side Silicon Valley houses, although it's not like they all have
like
tennis courts. The primary
t-shirt.
residence is nice but fairly normal, and is 10 minutes away from the mega mansions in the nearby suburb of Atherton. Zuckerberg owns an Acura TSX worth 30 grand, a Honda Fit worth 18 grand, a Volkswagen Golf also worth 30 grand, and a Pagani Huayra worth, well, 4 million. But for the most part, his checklist is safe, comfortable, and not ostentatious. Tyler Winklevoss called Mark Zuckerberg the poorest rich person I've ever seen in my life, although he perhaps hadn't seen Lil Dicky, who made a whole song about how cheap he
I don't know
was.
if this video.
It was appropriately titled Saving Dat Money, for which he'd make a music video without spending a single dollar.
The concept of the video is how can I make the most epic rap video ever for no money?
He'd therefore visit mansions, boats, and clubs, trying to convince random people to let him use their stuff, all of which being done while wearing the cheapest clothes possible. He'd state, you hear a lot of rap songs about spending money.
That's a
Wouldn't
classic video.
it be funny to make a song about saving money because it's ironic?
The video is
but
reaching,
beyond
it's
irony,
trying a
I
bit too hard, I
genuinely
think.
have pride in saving money. I'm a relatively cheap person who, to me, it's not cool to overspend, it's cool to get a great deal.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure almost every person in this video, okay, they do something, let's say, on a daily basis, whatever, or certain things, whatever, but they also do a lot of things that are very, very, like, super lavish.
Within the song itself,
Like,
Dicky admits to
very,
using
like,
his
out
cousin
there,
Greg's
like,
Netflix
this is
account,
what it
getting
is.
his haircut with several months in between, and wearing the same pair of jeans every day, also showing his frustration with how famous
What do you
music
think? Question
made
mark.
him.
It's true though. I think Ingvar is like the only guy in this that's like.
And then, of course, there's Adam Sandler.
He favors oversized clothes, untied sneakers, and a fresh from the hamper look.
His dress style is so casual, it's basically a meme. This man has more money than he knows what to do with, and still gets his drip from Walmart. Love it. He always looks.
Wait, dude. Yo, did you sample this song? Yo, Jesse. Check, listen to the melody.
From the hamper look.
His dress style is so casual, it's basically a meme. This man has more money than he knows what to do with, and still gets his drip from Walmart. Love it. He always looks ready for a basketball match because, according to this interview, he loves to turn up and play with random people.
I fly in, try to find a game somewhere, play, get a little sweat.
I once played basketball with Sandler during lunch break.
This is tone. But Jesse is tone.
On Grown Ups. He has an automatic three-pointer and is as down-to-earth as any famous person I've ever
Not the
met.
same.
I can't say enough nice things about the guy.
I literally go to any park, I see
same.
a game going off, and I go, all right, let me just walk in. I walk up, a couple people usually go, oh, that's what's his name? And then I go, yeah. And then I get a 5-on-5 going.
He isn't scared to photobomb a random
Much as
wedding,
done.
get a standard breakfast at IHOP, or eat a jar of pickles while walking down the street,
Okay, that's based on
despite
no.
being worth almost $500 million.
Okay, whoa.
About the
What's his name? And then I go, yeah.
random wedding, get a
Chat.
standard breakfast
Chat.
at IHOP, or eat a jar of
Chat, that's basic as fuck though. Holy shit. The problem with this is the fucking juice in these jars.
pickles while
The juice
walking
is
down the
fucking
street,
disgusting.
despite
Carrots are
being
better.
worth almost $500 million.
All of disposing of the jar is kind of annoying.
Carrots are insane to eat raw on its own.